Hello, I'm Nathan Judo. I'm here with Wolves reporter Miss Rosie Swarbrick. Rosie. Wolves 2, Aston Villa 1. That's pretty much a 2-1 demolition.
Yeah, it's just again, I feel like I'm sat here thinking about the same things that we've been thinking of these last 2 games. The amount of chances, the amount of opportunities. You just want Wolves to absolutely steamroll a team, and Villa were just there for the taking.
They are gonna, sooner rather than later, smash someone to pieces, aren't they? It's just all going to click. But at the same time, like you say, they create the chances, they missed a few, but they've been starting slowly in games, and I thought today was different, wasn't it? They were really at it from the off.
Yeah, they really made an active change, didn't they? That first half record where they've only scored 2 goals in the first half prior to today. This is the 3rd goal they've scored in the first half, and they've gone on to win the game. I think there's a stat out there, isn't there, where they've won every Premier League game they've scored first in.
Yeah.
So, it's important for them to start on the front foot and to get the goal that their play deserved, because, if they came out at half-time with a 0-0,
it's
just
frustrating,
so
yeah, of course it is,
And it allows Villa to come back in. The frustrating thing of today is that we were sat there and everyone's going, they're making it hard for themselves. They've made it hard for themselves by those wasted chances today.
And look, they had a great chance. I mean, goodness me, if they had ended up drawing this game, it would have been a massive opportunity. Definitely been 2 points drop. They were without Heaton, without Grealish, without Engels. Then Steer gets injured within a few minutes of the game. They're down to the 3rd choice keeper, and you think they are there for the taking. Thank goodness they did the job, but there were so many chances early on, but they just weren't testing the keeper, were they? They needed to get that shot on target, and then that training ground set piece, and happy days.
I think as well, there's a lot of credit that needs to go to Jimenez and for Nuno for keeping Jimenez on the pitch as well. It could have been quite easy, when Neto's warming up, you're thinking, is he going to take Jota off? Because that's the like for like that you'd expect. But you thought Jimenez just isn't firing today. It was just one of those days, but that sums up his personality and his style of a striker. He keeps persevering, and then he finally gets his goal. Yeah,
absolutely. Like you say, he was so frustrated, but he is quality at the end of the day. But the Never strike was different class, wasn't it? Fantastic.
Fantastic by Moutinho as well.
Yeah, lovely to pick him out.
There, a bit naive from Villa. I think if you're Villa, you're thinking, right, what quality Neves has got. But I think today he's ended a 16-game goal drought. That's his first goal after the Man United game, the last time he scored a goal for Wolves. So a fantastic way for him to end that.
Yeah, especially picking up, after Thursday night and missing that penalty, you think maybe he might be a bit down in the dumps, but first of all, he kept his positioning. I thought was great as well. He was still, further up the pitch, which is great to see. That's when we see the best out of him. And at the edge of the box, there's no one better, is there, in the Premier League probably?
No, I saw quite a funny picture the other day on Twitter where it was saying, Nuno's practicing his famous quotes from Thursday night, where he came out and he said, Neves will be practicing set pieces, spot kicks, and they've sort of moved the spot way back outside the penalty box, and that's where we see Neves in his best position, picking his spot, leaning back, curling the ball home. Fantastic goal.
Going to the second half, and like you said, we just needed that second. Then it's never easy though, but that's Wolves, isn't it? It wouldn't be the same if it wasn't a little bit on edge. The problem was when they started missing chances and people getting frustrated, is that at 70 minutes or 65, 70 minutes, they were gassed, they were knackered, weren't they? And you can understand that, and that's when Villa had a couple of chances themselves. Yeah,
it's one of those, isn't it? Wesley had a good game in that second half.
What a chance he had there.
Some of those chances he had, there were situations where you're thinking, but there were some brave blocks, the defending of Sace, the defending of Dendoncker. Cody came up with a number of, interventions in those final minutes. I think it's credit to Wolves for withstanding those chances and that sort of wave on wave. And like I said earlier, credit to Nuno for the tactical change he made.
2 people I want to talk about today, or just very briefly. One, Matt Doherty, who I thought was superb, was back to the kind of form we saw him in last season. I know you didn't see him much last season, but at the same time, he was a different class. I thought, especially first half, he was a huge threat. And then Adama Traore on the back of that Spain call-up yesterday, and it just absolutely made mincemeat of the defence at times.
Yeah, that right wing, both of them, they're just incredible to watch at times, and it's a pleasure to see both sides of the wings, because I don't think we've highlighted. I think in recent weeks we've been highlighting the work of Johnny on that.
Yeah, it's been great. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
it's just the wing play. This 3-4-3 formation that Nuno's going with at the moment just leaves Wolves with so much room and freedom to attack on the wings, and they left Villa, ragged on that left flank. But what they've got to do is take the chances. It's all well and good, you know, having those great runs, having that great possession, or, you know, having those great chances. You've got to take them.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they got the win, and that's the most important thing. They needed that win, didn't they, going into the international break?
Yeah, I think it just lifts you. You know, they've already at the table just before 8th in the table now.
Point away from 5th.
Point away from 5th, going into the international break. What a change we've had since, you know, the sort of last international break. What a boost in confidence we've had. No, well, that one was the Man City one, wasn't it, when we went into the last international break? So it's one of those where not a change from that time. It's more the building, the progressing, and like we say, week in, week out, I feel this Wolves team can only get better.
They can only get better. You're right. There's a lot of improvement there. I mean, Diogo Jota's still not firing on all cylinders, but you get Jota and Raul together. You know, we talked about Matt Doherty and Adama Traore down that right-hand flank, and at the same time, they have had a difficult start, Wolves, in this fixture list. And you look at the fixtures coming up, and a lot of them are winnable. The next 5 out of the next 6 are teams below them in the league, teams in the bottom half of the league, and that's where they're going to look to pick up points. And if they can get going and put a bit of a run together, then goodness me, top 4, top 5, top 6, they're all open. They've all got chances there.
Yeah, there's the teams are there for Wolves to pick the points up against, haven't they? They've just got to work in this international break on taking the chances and being more clinical, because there are going to be games where they're going to have 3 or 4 chances and they need to score those chances. It's just a bit frustrating. I find Jota quite frustrating to watch because he just takes a touch too many for me. I think the prime example of Jota in recent weeks was when he carved through, did all of the hard work, and then it's that final pass that he just overhits to Traore, and you're screaming for him to either take the shot himself or just lay it off simply, and Traore's got a run on. It's one of those that I find him a really frustrating player to watch.
You wait till you see him in full flow. He is a sexy beast. He is a sexy beast. Wolves 2, Villa 1. For all the post-match reaction, make sure you log on to expressthestar.com.